I'm a DJ boy, going to Dcentral, making NFT from the DeFi, being crypto poor but JPay rich.
Hey everyone, welcome to this session here at Dcentral Austin. This is kind of our hybrid edition of hosting some of our talks. Not everybody's able to travel with us at this current moment, but we're excited to still kind of bring this education for Web3 knowledge, metaverses, and NFTs to you guys straight here in Austin as well. And I couldn't do any better than get the man himself, Matty, DCL blogger, the man, myth, legend on crypto Twitter and beyond as well too. So I want to say welcome to the stage.
Thanks, Justin. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, for me, I'm definitely a fellow Metakey holder myself, repping Artifact, all things Artifact, of course. Everybody knows me. I'm a Clone X Maxi. Definitely you're a Clone X whale as well too, and also beyond as well. So I've been following a little bit more on both like the Metakey, and then just saw the brand new trailer in a new game, the new game trailer that was dropped for New Ganymede as well. But before we kind of jump into that, for those that are just kind of watching and don't know too much about your background, if you want to do a quick intro about yourself and Metakey.
Sure. So quick intro about myself. I got involved in the NFT space in Jan 2018. So it was about a bit more than 4 years from now. So got involved in Dcentral land, learned about virtual land, and then slowly grew out and learned about collectibles, art. And then suddenly 2021 happened. Everything boomed. It boomed, but it also connected, which is quite interesting. So all these industries popped off, but there was also a connectivity part of it where people were making galleries for their art in Decentraland, or people were making guilds and sort of making the community more tight knit. So I was in the space for 4 years and then started a fund. So I have a B3V fund that invests in startups in the NFT space, so equity tokens or NFTs themselves. And then on top of that, we launched the Metakey, which is a company launched pretty much exactly a year ago. The concept was to have a token, a Metakey, which will connect to other apps, other projects that are building on Decentraland, Sandbox, even isolated apps and services like, maybe you get 0% trading fees on OpenSea if you have a partnership with them, but really playing on this interoperability concept where you could take an NFT to different platforms and then have a functionality there, and what that looks like in the digital world. So doing that, I'll also make content under the DCL blogger name on YouTube and Twitter, and just been doing a bunch of stuff really.
Awesome. And I think that's where I saw the Metakey super early on, where you started to do some of these different collaborations across the different collections as well. I guess from like before, like when you jumped into NFTs and the Web2 space, Web3 space, I should say, were you kind of heavy into like gaming, NFTs, and metaverse in general, or what kind of attracted you to like get in? I mean, 2013 is kind of it's really OG and super early for NFTs. Even Decentraland, back then, not a lot of people were really looking into it early on in terms of the crypto and blockchain space.
Yeah, I got lucky, man. I got lucky. I think in 2017, I got involved with crypto in general, and I learned about tokens, and obviously price goes up and down, and it was this crazy world of volatility. And then 2018 Jan, I just randomly saw the Decentraland logo on the second page of CoinMarketCap, and I was looking for like low cap coins, and I was like, oh, this looks like a little game or something. It was like a logo with an island on it or something. They called Decentraland. I clicked it, joined the Discord, and it was epic. People were buying and selling, trading virtual land on a blockchain, and this was something different to people just talking about cryptocurrencies on Reddit or something. There was a different vibe here. So that's how I got involved. It was really through crypto and through luck, really. Before that, I mean, I wasn't really involved in the whole metaverse concept. Definitely a gamer. I used to play a lot of Dota 2. Played a lot of Call of Duty and all this stuff. As a gamer, I did a lot of that for like 10 to 15 years. Super Smash Bros. All with my friends. So I understood the gaming world. Not much with art. But yeah, just slowly transition to this mindset of connectivity as I learned more about the NFT space.
Got it. And for those kind of want to see some of the visual too, for the Metakeys, they are different types of keys And it's all started with the Genesis and first edition key as well. And it seems you guys are continuing to build multiple editions and continue to grow that as well. Was the idea with kind of building the Metakey too is building kind of like a membership as well too, or like kind of an NFT, kind of like alpha and collector club too. I think that's like you guys are still one of the early, one of those, I guess like social NFT DAOs in a way.
In a way, yeah. It's like we actually launched, I think, on the same day or the same week of Bored Ape. And so they took off with the whole avatar concept. Back then, when we were ideating this, there was no avatar sort of boom, right? So we were like, all right, well, how do we sell these VIP cards, but in a way where there's a collectability factor to it? And the way we decided that was to sell them in batches. So we sold this one, which was the first one. And I remember when Alan got back to me with the art, and I was like, man, this is what a metaverse key. This is what it looks like if there is ever one. And the interesting thing about this, and I've left a little nugget here, is at the back of the key when it spins is the DCL Blogger brand logo. And it's the only key that will have that in the whole collection because it was like the first one, right? So, and I think it's the old logo as well, the old DCL Blogger logo. And I purposely put that so it's got like a little bit of my history in there embedded into the key. But yeah, the keys are a collectability thing. And the idea was that some of the artists or the studios behind this would go on to become great brands or artists themselves. And Artifact Studio ended up doing that, right? And now, like, anyone that bought the Artifact key for 0.2 Ethereum, you've got an Artifact official NFT now. And that'll exist as that for the rest of the timeline. So it's kind of like adding this collectability to it, but also adding functionality to it as well. Yeah.
Nice. And so like I saw like in early May 1st, I think, what you guys revealed the big trailer. I know, and you guys have been talking about you guys is kind of the Metakey metaverse in a way too, with the new Ganymede as well too.
Mm-hmm.
How long has this been in kind of in ideation and in the works and in the build?
Yeah, look, I have to give full credit to my art team, and we've been very lucky as co-founders, as a co-founder of the Metakey, to hire really good people. And they pitched to me the idea of, all right, Matty, well, if we're gonna, integrate the Metakey into Dcentral and the Sandbox and all these games and apps that come by, then we're sort of limited to their environments and what they allow us to build into that. Why not we create our own virtual space where we don't have to buy land or anything, and we can do whatever we want with these Metakeys or avatars or any NFTs we will forever release. And all the brand partnerships we get, whether it be Australian Open or some other massive brands, we can bring them to our own space, right? And Dcentral. And the whole concept of this is it's not really competitive to Dcentral or anything. It's just a space you can go in, socialize, and play games that we can design. So things like, think about like, Mario Kart style or Fortnite style, and we can build them to amazing graphics, and we can have quests where people can play those games here, earn tokens, earn items that work in this space, and also Dcentral and the Sandbox, and really play with this metaverse cross-compatibility concept. So my art team pitched to me this about 3 to 4 months ago, and we've been working on it since. So it's what you're seeing here is 3 months in development. So imagine a year from now, it's going to look. They've told me, they're like, Matty, I actually pushed them to push this trailer out ASAP. And they were like, Matty, we just want some more time to make this look amazing. And I was like, no, this has to go out. This has to go out. It just looks great as it is. But they're like, Matty, this is going to look way better when we come up with the final version. So, nice. Yeah, I'm really excited for that part of the project.
Yeah, it's been looking great already too. It seems like it definitely look like it's been in the works for longer than that as well too. And I think through some of the descriptions and some of the talks that you guys are saying too, like you guys are thinking about like the gaming and in general, kind of a little bit different, not like fully like a play to. Is it going to be a play to earn economy, or is it going to be kind of a play and earn? And
yeah, we're thinking about things slowly and taking our time and seeing where the users what platforms that we create people will use, just because they'll learn good stuff there. So for example, we have this thing called the Meta Academy, where if you log in with the Metakey, there's courses behind there that we'll keep updating. So imagine a place where you log in with the Metakey, there'll be maybe 50 to 100 Web3 specific courses, all for free if you have a Metakey. So that doesn't need any tokenization or any earning, because people want to learn about education. So the same thing with New Ganymede is we want to make it a place where the experience, the gamification, going through there and experiencing is fun in itself, and then slowly implementing a token earning mechanism, maybe play and earn, or a wearable earning mechanism, or what we're working on as well is this seasonal pass, where every quarter there'll be a bunch of partners that will work with us, a bunch of quests you can do within Uganimede or across different worlds, whether it be Dcentral or any other web app that comes up, and earn things. So we want to play with the experience level first and then expand that to things that you can earn, but we're doing it slowly. We're not really basing the game around the economy. We're basing the economy around the game first.
Yeah, I think that's super important. It's actually making it a good game and good experience as well too. But I also like the idea that you just kind of shared too. I mean, we've seen the battle passes go around with some of the games and some of the seasons. People are still trying to. Some games are even trying to like change the model of that as well. And it seems like with you guys thinking about that cross meta experience as well too, potentially going to the Central land up to your guys' game as well, and kind of having those experiences and unlocks happen across, I guess, different battle passes as well too. So is that something that you'd get as the Metakey holder, or the battle passes, or the pass that you guys are building is something a little different?
So here's the cool thing about it, right? We need to figure out as a company or even as an industry, how do we scale beyond our holder base? So because we're selling these assets to the holder base, you sort of limit the growth, because 99% of the people that will come here, they don't want to spend a single dollar to play a game, right? They want a free experience because that's what they're used to. They buy a game for $40 or $50 from, and then they play it on the PlayStation. So what we're doing is the seasonal passes, they'll actually be free to claim, and it's going to be unlimited, so you can come and claim it at any time. But if you own a seasonal pass and you own a Metakey and you own an avatar, and we can have different tiers to this, then there's different items you will earn along the quest. So you can be a free user, just claim a battle pass and do the quest, and you can earn the items for free, or you can have a battle pass that you claimed, also own a Metakey or be a keymaster or any specific tiers that we have, then do the quest and you'll get different items, right? So we're playing with how do we scale beyond our current user base, but still have an experience that everyone can enjoy, even those with Metakeys and those without.
Got it. That makes sense. I think that kind of bringing more people into the space, not kind of making the NFTs as a barrier to entry, is going to be huge as well. And being able to play with your friends is going to be great as well. It looks like you guys are building like a full-on multiplayer MMO. Is there any like soft cap currently that you guys have been looking at, like in a concurrent session, or is that still just like TBD from the tech side?
On the tech side, I think we can probably do 20 to 30 pretty comfortably within like one instance. But we're in chat with some companies who can really scale us out to potentially 100, 200 plus. So if we can implement their architecture, then there could be 100, 200 plus avatars here. We're also talking to, not just the Metacrew collection, but other collections, and bringing them in our world. So you can hopefully play as your your Cyberkong or your Cypher, or whichever collections want to work with us. Because at the end of the day, I think people want to represent themselves as their favorite avatar. And if you can represent yourself in a game as your favorite avatar and then go and socialize or play games, I think that's the big win. So we don't want to force people to just use Metacrew. We want to get people to just be whoever they want to be, and then play whichever game they want to play at a free or a tiered level. And I think the socializing aspect, in itself will be a big deal, where you can just go in and just say hi to people and chat about stuff and meet up.
Yeah, hopefully I get to bring some of my Cyberkongs or Clone X's in there as well too, with the Metacrew, of course.
That's the goal.
As well too. And then are you guys looking at like different items? So I've seen like hoodies and clothing as well too, and potentially like different houses, vehicles. I guess how are you guys looking at from top down all the way through?
Everything, man. Everything. We're sort of, if you zoom out of the NFT space completely, it sort of looks like we're all gathering items and things that will be used in some massive MMO game much later. 10 years later, there'll be something that will connect everything. So we're thinking of things the same. So when we're, the rewards that you may earn, they may be more avatars, or they may be maybe a rideable. Maybe you can own a freaking dragon that's like an introduction to the rideable concept that we may introduce maybe a year from now or something, or pets, right? It could be anything. And for us, it's just exciting to build something that we're excited about. Like, we love building games, or virtual experiences, because a lot of us in the team are gamers. And we also notice a lot of people in the NFT space are also avid gamers, right? So it's kind of like connecting with our community and the broader team and seeing something that can play out. And there's really no limitation. There's no like set, this is the only thing we're going to do. Whatever we implement today, if we see the industry changing or pivoting, then we will pivot with it, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the space is just rapidly developing, and especially for NFTs, either be like
Exactly.
kind of new trends, new directions, or in the case, if the ape world and some of the ape land is doing a different direction, a lot of people are gonna try to do different things as well too. So it's cool to see the flexibility and adaptability of that as well too, coming from you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess kind of just like looking to the future as well too. I guess what's next on the horizon for New Ganymedes? You guys are still continuing building, testing it out. Are you guys looking at kind of getting this like alpha testing, or what's the next kind of upcoming quarter or two look like?
I think it's going to be a good year or so in development, in just building the whole. So we're taking an approach that's probably different to other people and other companies, where other companies have just given land to everyone and told them to build. The problem that we've seen with that in DCL and even in the sandbox is landowners, they don't have the intent to build, nor do they have the resources, nor do they have the capability or the mindset of building. So what we're doing is we're just going to build a prototype city, basically, of all the stuff, maybe with the partnered, maybe with like a tennis court or a basketball court, and all like a whole hub that you can go in there and experience. And then that's going to probably take a year to do really, really well. But the beautiful thing is, once we create that, we've created all of our models, all of our action sequencing, all of the architecture, then things like building a whole new game will probably be like 2 to 3 months of a build out process, because we've already got like 80% of the structural stuff built, right? So we can really put out games and experiences at a more higher frequency in year 2 and year 3. So we're focusing on those in stages. So the first stage is build out our city, build out the mechanics of communication and walking around and fighting, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully a beta of that will be released a year from now, maybe a little less. But also what we're doing at the same time is we're, working with really big partners to bring them in so that we can model this quest thing. And maybe you can go in here hypothetically with someone like Coca-Cola, and you can be like, all right, well, if you do these things, you can get an official Coca-Cola wearable or an item, or maybe a discount at, complete hypothetical with Coca-Cola. But we're working with our partners as well on how to design the quest. So hopefully in a year from now, people in the Metakey Discord and those that have a Metakey, they can get some beta access and come experience what we're building.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think we're kind of wrapping up to the tail end here of the Fireside, and as you can see here, there's a lot of that's being built and actually tangible too. I think that we're still seeing a lot of NFT projects, and I'm sure you see yourselves still in just like ideation phase. They say they want to build a game, and they actually haven't showed a game at all. In this case, you guys are going to the opposite. You guys are just fully building the game. And not selling like the land first, because I think that's like a true point that you also mentioned too. It's like these people are building JPEG versions of the land itself. People don't have intent to build it. Maybe they just wanted to hoard and camp real estate land. But what if like all the top whales are just holding like the most prized land and not actually building on it? Then you just have dead open land in the center of the town, right?
Exactly.
As well. But also, two people don't even know what to do with it. And there's no ideation of yield or anything. Like there's no functionality with it too. So I really like that approach. And seems like you guys are going a very step-by-step, systematic, and real way to both collaborate and build the future of metaverse or multi-metaverse collections as well too.
Yeah, thanks. And we're doing a bunch of stuff as well. So for example, we are doing the New Ganymede world, which is the gamification part, but we're going to be doing some really big events in Dcentral or any virtual worlds that come up, whether it be Dcentral or Sandbox or wherever we end up going. We're making a sort of like a metaverse strategy team, which is focused on just building out massive events. So that hasn't really taken off that much. But we have, for the last year, we've hired the right people, we've experimented and come up with a process so that we can build them out when we get some good brands that work with us. So honestly, Metakey, in my opinion, and what I want to do with it is I want to have like a very metaverse-centric native brand. That's when people hear Metakey, they think of events, they think of education, they think of their own experiences. And it's like one of the top 10 brands that you want to be plugged into in the space, just because there's so much value behind what can be done with the Metakey. And where we exist, visibly and experience-wise across the metaverse.
Awesome. So yeah, not only are you making good alpha calls from all the early on OG's metaverse stuff, but also too, you guys are building and contributing to that ecosystem in the space as well too, which we always love to see. Is love to always talk directly to the actual builders themselves, and it's great. Yeah, having you on here. We'll definitely love to have you back again on other future events too. So. What's the best way for people to keep up with you? Is just on Twitter with you at DCL Blogger, Metakey.
Yep. Twitter DCL Blogger, but I'll be starting very heavy content creating on YouTube back again in about a week. I'll be moving into my new house and hopefully putting out 2 to 3 videos a day. So if you want like media content, you can go to YouTube. But on Twitter, I'm pretty active. So DCL Blogger.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely share it out as well too from Metakey, the Twitter, and also DCL Blogger on Twitter, and link to your YouTube as well. But yeah, I want to thanks again for taking your time across the world to kind of contribute and share your thoughts too of what you're building, and we'll hope to get back again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin.
All right, no problem. Thank you.